Welcome to Life with Great Friends with Doug and Andrea, or
Anna, in replacement of my mom.
and we're going to talk about ambiguity. So kill ambiguity.
A little mistake will grow to a huge conflict.
Review from part 1. Facts occur. We tell ourselves a story. From that story, we create feelings, and from that, we act out, and we are wrong.
90% of the time, and it's called the fundamental attribution error.
Go watch part 1 to understand it more. Part 2 is the only thing you can control is you. Make them a human, not a villain, and define what you want and what you don't want. Go watch the video. When you're in a conflict and you're about to re-engage them to resolve the conflict, we want you to do this. Get out a piece of paper. Draw a line down the middle on the right-hand side, right-hand side. And guess what's going to go on the left-hand side?
Left-hand side.
On the left-hand side. And on the
or
right,
you could abbreviate or just write left or left. Or right.
you could write left or right. Here's what I want you to do. I want you to say, I want you to write down as many of the actual words that you heard in the conversation or that you remember from the conversation. Actual.
Not skewed, not we.
But
you
actual,
want them
what
to
you
be.
think you heard. And on the left-hand side, I want you to write down what could have been their meaning. What are the possible other meanings? So here's an actual conversation.
Not just they're bad, I'm good, they're bad.
Here's an actual conversation Andrew and I had, my wife. We were driving up to her sister's house, and it's about 4 hours away. And as we're driving up there, I say these words: "Wow, it is taking us a long time to get to your sister's house." And Andrea says, "Why are you complaining? You don't care about my family." And I say, "It was my idea to come up here. Back off." If Andrea were doing this, she might have written this down. What are other possible meanings Doug meant? It is longer than I remember. And if I were upset at Andrea and I was replaying this conversation, I might say, why would she say that? And one possible thing is that she was thinking, we just drove to his family in California. He is being so unfair that he's not willing to drive 4 hours. And then, of course, you could always do the negative and say, poor Doug, he can't win. The other thing we're going to talk about is help. My brain is on fire. So what happens when your brain is on fire in the wrong spots? Have you ever been there where you're like, I can't stop myself. I can't do anything. I either want to punch them in the face or I want to run away.
And slam the door.
And neither of those are going to help your relationships. That's
Really?
yes.
Let me write that one down.
That's a freebie. Don't have to pay for me. And the reason is because all the blood has gone to the back and bottom of your brain where you have the fight and flight. That's why you're trying to punch them in the face or slam the door as you run away.
Yep.
What you want to do is you want to get blood to the front part.
The logical decisions part.
So we are going to...
Cool the brain.
And how are we going to do that, Anna?
We are going to ask a question.
This is so good. Like, I pound this into your brains.
Yeah.
I don't pound it into your brains. That sounds awful. I am trying to get you guys to understand that when you lose it, ask a question, and it is crazy how good you can regain control of your brain. And here's the magic question.
Am I hearing you correctly that you blank, blank?
And if you ask that question, they will be surprised, you'll be surprised, and both of you will get back to at least the front part of your brain where you can do things. Or around here, we say...
The story I'm telling myself is da-da-da-da. Can you correct it?
What you're trying to do with those questions is cool your brain, and the other thing you're trying to do is you're trying to get more information because you're trying to get all the information from both parties or three parties if they're involved out in the open so everybody can see what is really happening. So don't draw conclusions. Once you get the information, here's what I want you to do. I want you to get the information, right? And then I want you to
listen to the information.
So physically standing there is not listening, but you're actually listening to them, and this is the hardest. Believe the information. I'll say it again.
Believe the information.
And just for a fact, I'm going to say it again. The hardest part in this whole thing is to believe the information. That often what happens is people will tell us, no, that's not what I meant. I meant this. Or here's why I did that. And in the back of our brain, we're saying,
No.
Liar! You're a liar! But if you believe them, here is a super duper trick I've learned. If you just believe people at their words and you keep moving, you are now free. You are now free, and if they told you the truth, they are now free. And here's the really cool thing. If they're lying to you,
well,
they're now stuck because you left and you acted on that information, and they're going, oh, crud, I lied, and now they're acting that way, and I was trying to. So it's this really, it's a win-win-win when you just believe people and move on. In conclusion, don't let misunderstandings grow. Cool the brain with questions. Ask the super question and believe their answers. And I'll be doing part 4, actually having that conversation, Go buy the book, Crucial Conversations. It's absolutely
amazing.
and you can find it right there, livewithgreatfriends.com/book. We made it as easy as possible for you to get the book. Bye.
Thank you.